Modern wall constructions, Part 2, aerated concrete masonry blocks. General introduction. Aerated concrete small block masonry has excellent thermal insulation properties and low density, making it lightweight and fast construction possible. Other advantages include good acoustic properties, plaster resistance, easy cutting and carving, and high dimensional accuracy. Nowadays, blocks can be smooth-surfaced, grooved, or tongue-and-groove blocks. The blocks are laid in a stretcher course only, with typical lengths of 50 or 60 centimeters and widths of 30, 37.5 and 50 centimeters, which determine the wall thickness. The average height of the blocks is 20 centimeters. The typical joint size is 1 centimeter, which gives a course height of 21 centimeters. Again, the blocks are laid according to the general rules for brick bonding. The figure shows that plain blocks should be laid with a vertical mortar joint. But the vertical joints do not have to be in the center axis. However, the connection between the blocks must be at least 12.5 centimeters. The preceding information applies to grooved blocks, and mortar must be used for vertical gaps. However, the vertical joints of the grooved and tongue-and-groove blocks are already dry built. Furthermore, in this case, only thin bed masonry mortar can be used. This results in joints only 2 millimeters thick, which is both material saving and significantly reduces the amount of thermal bridging. Particular attention must be paid to precisely adjusting the level of the first course, similar to thin bed mortar solutions for clay blocks. Aerated concrete block joints. Using a sample wall, we will investigate the wall connections of 37.5 centimeter wide aerated concrete block masonry. The types of blocks used are grooved and tongue-and-groove blocks, which are 37.5 by 60 by 20 centimeters. The allocation of blocks is planned as follows. 1. Wall corner. Start the course with a whole block from the corner in alternating courses, and the joints will be correct throughout the wall. The wall thickness of 37.5 centimeters and an element length of 60 centimeters give an offset of 22.5 centimeters in both connecting walls, greater than the minimum requirement of 12.5 centimeters. Second T connection. In the first course, the connecting wall is already tied to the main wall. We placed a whole element for this. In the next course, an overlap of 22.5 centimeters would reduce the element bond to only 15 centimeters after the connection. Since the wall will be closed by a wall end later, it is better to increase this to 30 centimeters from the connection. To do this, a 44 centimeter cut element is laid down, and from here, the masonry is continued again with a whole block. Third, wall end. When forming the wall end, we also start with a whole block in the first course. In the next course, place a cut block on the wall end by the block bond plan. As previously planned, the cut blocks will be half, i.e. 30 centimeters. In our example, we could use whole blocks for the masonry, because the span length was a multiple of the block length, 120 centimeters or 180 centimeters. If the corner points are closer or farther away, cut blocks are used and placed in the middle of the wall. In the meantime, you should use blocks of at most 12.5 centimeters. This can be avoided using 2 cut blocks per course instead of 1. Phases of construction. The construction process is as follows. 1. We set the walls, connections and openings on the reinforced concrete slab with a chalk line. 2. The soil moisture proofing under the wall is fixed to the reinforced concrete slab, and the crucial points are marked again. 3rd, place the whole blocks of the corner, T-connection and wall end using a leveling tool, a leveling bar, 2 to 3 centimeters of mortar, a trowel and a rubber mallet for horizontal and vertical adjustment. 4. A masonry cord is stretched out between the already placed blocks, and the grid masonry is done here. The blocks will be laid along the original plan without vertical joints. Check the levelness and sand the surface if there is more than 1 millimeter of unevenness. 6. For the next course, a thin layer of masonry mortar is used, which is applied to the surface with a mortar roller. This time, the key blocks are placed first, the whole blocks of the corner and the half bats of the wall end. 7. Once again, we use masonry cords for the grid masonry. The cut element 44 is placed at the T connection, and the vertical joint is filled with mortar. 8. Using the leveling bar and rubber mallet, ensure the level and plumbers above by sorting the two courses.